airport was shut, and that ensured that nobody could flee Nepal, could go out from here, and nobody could come in. That created a lot of issues for the tourists as well. Yesterday in the evening, in fact, I can hear a flight going over my head. Yesterday in the evening, the operations were resumed. We were on the first flight in from New Delhi, and when we reached here, we've met a lot of people, those who had, absolute panic-stricken 48 hours of violence, brutal action, and uncertainty that Nepal saw on 9th and 10th. Take a look at my first-hand account of what I saw and spoke to the people, those who were here on the 9th and then also on the 10th of September. Heavy air of uncertainty still looms in Kathmandu, where I am at this moment. We've arrived in the first flight from the national capital. This is the Tribhuvan International Airport, which is now functional. Flights are taking off from here, also coming in. There are some special flights from India, which are also expected to pick up people, Indian citizens stranded here, those who want to, in fact, go back to the national capital, Delhi, in India. So those special flights would be coming in. And also now, Indian carriers have started their normal functions as well, as far as the flights are concerned. It's still, as I said, quite uncertain. There is unease as well. My colleague Xavier will just give you a sense of the departure terminal where we are standing at this moment. A lot of people, there has been, remember, backlog of tourists, those who were stuck here as well. And, people, those who have been waiting to take off from Kathmandu at this moment after many of them scared after what they saw especially on the 9th of September. Can I speak to you? Hi, are you from India?
We are from India, correct.
How big is your group? How many people have been?
A group of 75 people.
All tourists?
All tourists from Bangalore and Mumbai, yes.
So, since when have you been here? Were you here on the 9th and the 10th?
Yes, we landed on 9th when the situation was not as bad as it was. Then as soon as we landed, then, everything went haywire.
Yeah.
And we had to get stuck. We were stuck for, 2 days with the same property. And then now once the flights have reopened, so we are getting back to the airport and heading
all your
back.
Plans of a holiday got tossed up, huh?
Yes, we were just, stagnant, stationary in one place. We did not move out anywhere. What we had planned, the entire agenda went for a toss, and we're just...
for a lot of people, those who are still in India, they possibly would not understand how scary things would have been landing in a foreign country and then a complete upheaval that has taken place. Could you describe for us what was happening then? I mean, was it something that you guys were able to see?
On the road?
Yeah.
I was actually able to see everything. I was traveling in the cab from the airport. I picked the entire group. Buses, nothing. My cab was attacked that morning. So the entire mob, came on my car. They were jumping on the car, all broke one glass. I got to the hotel safely. I was very fortunate for that. But that was one experience I would never want to, go through again.
I'm sure nobody would want to, and I'm so glad that you are safe. All the best for your return flight. This is also part of your group. Can I speak to a few other people if you don't mind? Can we have a quick word? Hi.
Hi.
Where are you from?
We are from Bombay, Maharashtra, India.
So, you guys, when did you land here? And
2 days ago.
2 days ago?
Yeah, on Tuesday.
When actually situation was at its peak, most terrible at that point of time.
Absolutely.
With violence. So you landed in Kathmandu and you saw Kathmandu on fire?
Yes, so we landed, we went to the Marriott. Right besides us was Hilton, which was on fire, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We did see the roads being blocked. But what I realized is the protesters were very cooperative. They understood we were a tourist bus and they did allow us to go. So that's one good thing. I mean, I do realize the protest is for a reason, but it was just not, I want to destroy entire Nepal. It was like, we want to
It was the anger against their government,
Exactly.
but not
We
against
want
the
to
people, those who
overrun
are coming in.
Absolutely. We want to overrun the government, but I just don't want to destroy everything in front of me just because I'm angry.
But I'm sure you guys must have had, it must have been a very, scary, tragic, and all plans gone up.
Right. We are safe now.
Yeah.
We are going back.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
At this moment, it seems people, those who are on their way back in a lighter vein, but it's as I said, the situation. Look at this, the lady behind me, and you will see emotional scenes here at the airport as well. After the country has gone through the kind of turmoil that it has for a lot of people, this is something that they would have never expected, never experienced. Even when there are goodbyes, a lot of emotional scenes here as far as the Nepalese citizens are concerned. But good thing is that the international airport is functioning, and now people would be able to come in, and those who want to leave the country would also be allowed to leave, which brings a little sense of order coming back to things. But for Nepal, it is going to be a long road to recovery and stability. With my colleague Xavier Ankityagi in Kathmandu. All right, before I go to my guest, Dr. Mimendra Rijwal, I just want to show you, ladies and gentlemen, this tribute which is being paid to, as I've been saying, the 31 young people, those who passed away. Very emotional families also here. Those who are, you will see the family members as well of the young kids, those who were killed in the police firing when the protest began. And this is the people coming together, paying their tributes, standing in solidarity with the families of those who lost their loved ones in the, right at the beginning when the crackdown took place by the police against the protesters. This also resulted in massive anger among the youth in the way the protests were handled, the way the people were injured, killed, fired upon. And then, of course, it just took 36 hours for the government of Nepal to be brought down to its knees. While my colleague is on these visuals, I want to very quickly just quickly shift our focus and try and understand how and what the way forward is. Mr. Rijal, thank you for speaking to us. Dr. Rijal, let me understand this from you. I'm standing right outside the mortuary where the body of the 31 people, those who were killed in the police action and the crackdown that took place against the Gen Z protesters initially are. There are very emotional scenes, but still anger. People still demanding justice as far as these young people are concerned.
My heart goes out to their families. This was not required. This isn't needed. And because of sheer mismanagement on our part, complacency on our part as political parties, mainstream political parties, this happened. They deserve better. I hope, we all now come back to senses and then take the country forward from here and then be able to help them deliver the aspirations they have for the entire nation.
Okay, I'll just try and move away from where I'm standing because, a moment of silence is being observed here to honor the departed souls. But Dr. Rijal, let me ask you this. You were part of the whole system, the political system, the establishment, which frustrated people, and especially the young, to the extent that they came out, their anger came out and melted, scorched the streets of Nepal. What do you have to say about the fact that, they have lost absolute trust? The young people of Nepal have lost absolute trust in the polity and the political leaders of this country, including yourself.
Yes, of course. I would be the first one to admit that. We have lost touch as political parties, as mainstream political parties. As a member of Nepali Congress, I have to admit that we have lost touch with the base. We have to now recognize that and recognize the aspiration of youth. And I had forewarned. I've given interviews with other mainstream paper here, also legacy media, that It's important for us to understand the message, get the message, and punish the medium or the messenger. But I could not prevail upon the government and the party that I represent, sad as it has been. But at the same time, I guess the country has to move forward. Law and order has to be restored. They have even the ones who had to lose their lives. I mean, they had a dream for the nation. They have aspiration for the nation, and we all would be better off by working towards realizing those aspirations. And it is profoundly saddening, but we have to move and work to achieve the dreams that they had for the country.
Right, Dr. Rijal, the situation in your country is still very fragile. The peace is hanging by, a thread largely brought in by the Nepalese army. What is the way forward? Because one thing, of course, is the anger that we saw. Now what happens, that's the more difficult part, how to bring consensus in the country, stability, political, and of course fulfill the aspirations of those who brought upon this situation in Nepal.
As mainstream political parties or legacy parties, we have to lie low. We have to become part of the solution, not part of the problem. So we should help find a solution, but that solution has to honor the Constitution. Constitution basically is a document that was promulgated after long and arduous struggle of four generations. That has to be honored. And we can be as imaginative as the Gen Z would like us to be, or if anybody would like this nation to be. Find a solution, a creative one, imaginative one, within the parameters of the Constitution. And as the Constitution has it, President of the country is entrusted with the responsibility, duty to preserve and protect the Constitution. So I'm with him as somebody who would preserve and protect the Constitution, and with the Nepal Army and the security forces taking the law and order situation back, and then helping, staying low, lying low, and then watch as Gen Z finds a piece of consensus to run the country and help him out.
Would the political party like yours, would they accept, would it be whatever the Gen Z, the leadership that the Gen Z brings upon, the solution, the roadmap that they bring upon, will it be acceptable to all the political parties?
At this time, we have to come to our senses, and then we have to, and then our earnest request to the leaders of the movement would be: the Constitution represents the long and arduous struggle of 4 generations. Many people have laid their lives, their dreams for this Constitution. So let's stay within the parameters of the Constitution. Within the parameters of the Constitution, based on the principle of necessity, we can be as imaginative as creative. And it's for them to be imaginative, creative, suggest those options to the President of the country. And if they do that, they'll serve the nation well, and then we'll stand behind them. And then meanwhile, we can just go back to the roots and then build our support back. But we should not be harboring any ambition in between until we build our parties back together. Thank you.
Well, the hope is that there will be, the better sense will prevail, there will be consensus, and at least those who ruled or at least had the opportunity to rule Nepal before this, at this moment, are part of the solution, not still harboring any sort of ambition that once again puts the country in turmoil. Thank you so much, Dr. Rijal, for speaking to us. Before I slip into a short break, and we'll keep getting you the ground reports as well, it's a sense of mourning here in Kathmandu, where I'm reporting from, with a lot of people remembering the cost of this Gen Z brought revolution here in Nepal. I'm slipping into a short break, coming back, stay tuned.
That's huge. That is a biggie. It's out of it.
गोल्ड ग्लास क्लियर ग्लास, कार हो या नियर, सब कुछ दिखे क्लियर।
If it matters to you, if it matters to you, if it matters to you, it matters to India, it matters to India, and it matters to me, and it matters to me.
India Matters with Shivaru, only on NDTV 24/7.
The best app to use is the NDTV app.
दुनिया भर में जब भी भारतीय मीडिया की चर्चा होती तो एनडीटीवी सबसे पहले जिक्र में आता है।
मैं आपका बात से सहमत हूं, उल्टे हम भी जब विदेश जाते हैं, the best app to use is the NDTV app.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
The best app to use is the NDTV app.
दुनिया भर में जब भी भारतीय मीडिया की चर्चा होती तो एनडीटीवी सबसे पहले जिक्र में आता है।
मैं आपका बात से सहमत हूं, उल्टे हम भी जब विदेश जाते हैं, the best app to use is the NDTV app.
The markets move fast.
And so should your portfolio. Expert insights, real-time stock picks.
Do I buy Ola?
Should I hold CDSL for the long term?
Buy, sell or hold.
The answers you need, straight from the experts.
Callers from India and across the world. Connect live, ask, decide and invest wisely.
Your portfolio, your future. Ask Profit.
Hello, Moto.
Moto G96 5G. All eyes on you.
Those who are either the family members or those who were present at the time when someone among those 31 lost their lives are talking about their loved ones, remembering them. It's a condolence, remembrance which is going on behind me. While Nepal is, as I said, hanging by a very fragile thread of peace, there is also a sense of hope, a hope for things to change, a hope of a hard-won fight, and also a hope for a better future. Now, one part of this hope comes from the conversation, or at least the dialogue, which is going on at the Nepal Army headquarters, which is about 4 kilometers from where I'm standing. And that's where the Army Chief is talking to some of the key figures to try and find a way forward. Earlier, they were, but it's not going to be easy because, as I said earlier, there were factions of Gen Z fighting among each other, some supporting, particular candidate, other opposing it. Many are saying that this revolution has been brought after a hard-fought, fight, sacrifices of the young people, and even at the interim, the person who leads them should be a young person, not from the old guard. Their demands are dissolution of the parliament, the president also to step down, formation of an interim government, and then elections to take place soon under the democratic setup, under the constitution of Nepal. I was there when some tensions earlier in the day broke out with the army trying to clear the area so that the conversation, the dialogue can continue. Take a look at this report. I'm a short distance away from the Nepalese army headquarters where the talks are going on for the way forward and for the formation of the interim government in Nepal. What you are seeing here at this moment is the army vehicles trying to in fact chase away a group of people, those who had gone there. Remember, there is still air of uncertainty about who will be leading the interim government. In fact, many names doing the round, and the news that came in was that two groups clashed there, pro and against the former Chief Justice Sushila Karki's name. So at this moment, there is no consensus on who would lead the interim government in Nepal, and the situation is still tense. What you see behind me is just an example of how volatile and fragile things are, where it will still take some time before there is some sort of consensus on the name of the people, those who would be heading the interim government, which will pave the way for elections and possible stability in Nepal. These visuals coming to you at this moment of the army, which has taken control of entire city of Kathmandu, asking people not to congregate here and move away after there were. All right, so there is some sloganeering once again which has started. We will have to try and figure out which group is this, who are they supporting. But the army at this moment asking them to move away from their positions. You'll see a lot of young people. This entire movement, what happened, the whole yearning for change has been led by young people. But this gives you a very clear sense of how fragile and difficult the road ahead for Nepal is going to be. While the talks are on, consensus is still far away. With my colleague Xavier Ankittyagi, NDTV. I was just trying to gather and understand what is happening behind me. Like I was saying, it's a tribute, a remembrance. 12 families of those who died, those who were in fact, shot and killed when the pushback from the police happened, when the clampdown from the police took place. Their families are here. 12 families are talking about their loved ones. And while we are on this, I'm getting some important information, news coming in, breaking news, that the curfew here in Kathmandu has been relaxed. At this moment, the curfew was till 5 p.m., announced till 5 p.m. local time. And now you would see a lot of movement. You will see some vehicles also coming in and going. When we came here in the morning, the vehicles were not allowed. People were not allowed to congregate on the other side. You will also see some people. So the important thing is that at this moment, the curfew has been relaxed, but it's a very cautious approach by the army. They have relaxed the curfew. They are taking stock of the situation. If peace prevails, then of course the curfew will continue or will be lifted. But at this moment, I can tell you that people are out on the streets and trying to go across to get essential commodities and other things because there has been a relaxation in the curfew, and that's the reason why you also see a lot of people gathered here. Those who are talking about their loved one. 12 I've been told 12 families out of the 25, those who have been identified are here. And they are the ones, those who are talking about their loved ones who took part in this entire protest and then later were killed when the police crackdown took place. In fact, one of the person who was present here also said that nobody from the administration of any semblance of the law and order of the administration here is present. It's just the army protecting this place, the mortuary from where the bodies are being sent away. My colleague Aditya has been here since the 9th of September, has been keeping an eye on what's going on across the city of Kathmandu. This is the report he filed earlier today.
Even as the protests continue outside the Nepal parliament here in Kathmandu, you can see the anger, the seething anger among the youth, so much so that multiple paramilitary vehicles and buses and trucks have had to retreat. You can see right behind me this vehicle of the paramilitary here, which had come to bring in reinforcements outside the parliament. Behind that is a truck full of the paramilitary forces of Nepal, but protesters have forced them to retreat. Visuals coming on your screen from my video journalist Prem Singh clearly indicating the kind of anger outside the Nepal parliament on the second day of these deadly protests in which 19 people have been killed and more than 347 injured. The protesters have forced multiple vehicles of the paramilitary to leave the location. If we can actually show you visuals of this bus as well, which is the APF, which is the paramilitary force of Nepal, which is now leaving this location outside the Nepal parliament. You can see them, continuously reversing their vehicles and leaving from the spot, clearly indicating who really calls the shots outside the parliament right now. It is the demonstrators, it is the common people of Nepal, it is the youth of Nepal that is speaking up. And slowly and steadily, you can see this bus and multiple vehicles of the APF and the Nepal police and the paramilitary that is slowly leaving this location. You can see inside these vehicles are paramilitary forces and soldiers who are here for reinforcement to bring in security for outside the parliament. But now these vehicles are reversing from outside the parliament and leaving the location. Protests continue today as well, and through the day, it's likely that thousands others will converge outside the Nepalese parliament to demand the resignation of the Prime Minister. Reporting from outside the Nepalese parliament here in Kathmandu with video journalist Prem Singh, this is Aditya Rajkol.
Well, it's a rainy day here in Kathmandu and there are hectic negotiations and political dialogue underway for the formation of the interim government which can bring in stability and peace and finally restore calm in Nepal. But I'm standing right now at a very interesting location. This is the residence of Sushila Karki. Sushila Karki is the first woman Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Nepal, and she has been nominated by the Gen Z protesters and the youth to lead the charge to negotiate with the army chief and the youth about the formation of the interim government. In fact, you can see the simplicity of life that she has, that she stays in this house, but this is actually, it looks like a bungalow, but it's not. It's a simple house in the Tapasi neighborhood of Kathmandu in Nepal, and you can see the shanties around this entire area. It's a very, very not a posh area, very difficult area to get into from the main city in Kathmandu. It will take you at least half an hour to 40 minutes to reach, and this is where Sushila Karki has been staying. There is no security, there is no protocol, there are no glamorous big cars that are waiting for her, but this is the residence of Sushila Karki, and she has already left early in the morning to discharge her duties, and that is to negotiate with the army chief and the protesting youth about the future course of action. At NDTV, we'll be keeping you abreast with the latest but political dialogue and negotiations currently underway, even as Sushila Karki is the front runner to become the next Prime Minister or perhaps the caretaker of the interim government here in Nepal after days of violent protests and chaos all across the country. Reporting from Kathmandu in Nepal with video journalist Prem Singh, this is Aditya Rajkol for NDTV. Today is the fourth day after deadly violence broke out in Kathmandu, Nepal and all across the country, demanding the resignation of the Prime Minister and a complete democratic coup. Now that the Prime Minister has left and there will be, in fact, a new coalition of government which will be interim in nature until elections are held, the flames that were lit that day when the Nepal Parliament and several other buildings were completely gutted continue to actually burn. We are at Barberton, which is the biggest shopping complex in Nepal, in the heart of the city in Kathmandu. You can see right behind me, there are flames that are still going up. You can see this smoke in the air. And even on this fourth day, we see the shopping complex not just burning, but at the same time we see that fire brigade is trying to extinguish the fire. We can see these people who are trying to extinguish the fire. There is still, this entire area that is engulfed. It is burning. You can see the flames inside that are raising. And the fire brigade here in Nepal are trying to extinguish. अभी भी जल रहा है क्या? अभी भी जल रहा है? जल रहा है. अच्छा, पूरा बिल्डिंग जल गया है? Well, this is the fire brigade personnel trying to extinguish the fire, but this is the reality, that on that particular day, the fire brigade was not allowed to reach this particular location, and now this entire location is completely gutted. At one point in time, this was the biggest shopping complex here in Kathmandu. Imagine the loss that would have really happened. These are very terrible visuals of the destruction and devastation that happened in Nepal, even though there's been a democratic transition that will happen. Perhaps for the good, only time will tell. But these flames are testimony, these flames are witness to kind of deadly violence and eruption of, death and destruction that happened on the streets of Kathmandu and several other districts of Nepal. You can see right behind me the fire brigade continuously coming, trying to extinguish the fire. Well, the fire brigade has come here again. They're trying to extinguish this fire that has risen yet again at this shopping complex. In a few minutes from now, this fire brigade will be taking charge of the control of the situation. We'll try to show you, live images of how the fire brigade personnel are trying to extinguish the fire here at Barberton, the major shopping complex where the fire brigade has reached. There's massive fire that continues. You can see the fire brigade bringing in the hose and trying to really build in and trying to extinguish the fire that is coming in here. The emergency services, the fire brigade has reached Barberton, where the fire has erupted yet again on this Thursday morning. While the political churning happens here in Nepal, while we see Sushila Karki taking perhaps the role of the interim government head, or at least for the negotiations, we are now witnessing the fire brigade, continuously going and trying to extinguish the fire. They're trying to build in this hose from their fire truck and see how they can, in fact, extinguish this particular fire.
This is history being shaped in front of our eyes. Dramatic visuals of the Nepalese parliament being completely gutted and burned right behind me. You can see my video journalist Prem actually showing you visuals of this entire parliament complex burning right behind me. This is the seat of democracy. This is the reality that is shaping the Nepalese politics and Nepalese government right now. The protesters are demanding justice and the resignation of KP Sharma Oli government, and the entire parliament burning has been burnt. This is the building of parliament that has been completely burnt right now. A thick ball of black smoke all across this entire region, and cheer and sloganeering against the Communist Party, against KP Sharma Oli, and for the corruption that the government allegedly has been alleged by the youth of this entire area. But you can see dramatic visuals on your screens here on NDTV, even on as there are tear gas shells fired. You can see this black smoke all across this region where protesters are demanding justice and resignation of KP Sharma Oli, and this entire parliament building is burning at this stage. This is not the beginning. This is not the end of the protests against corruption and the KP Sharma Oli government. The big question, will Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli resign here in Kathmandu and surrender before the diktats of these protesters, or will we see an intensification of the protests here in Kathmandu? Reporting from Nepal with video journalist Prem Singh, this is Aditya Rajkol for NDTV. You can also see a little behind, if Prem Singh can pan and show you visuals of this thick black plume of smoke on your screens, where clearly there's been rioting. Few public transport or some public things have been gutted, And that's what the situation is right now. Clashes have been reported in some areas, but there is barricading also. We'll try to move a little further ahead to get you a glimpse of what's happening here, right outside the Nepal Parliament. The people here are protesting. They are angry, they are upset, and they are trying to burn things out. They are demanding justice. You can see there's been stone pelting also in this particular area. They're chanting slogans against KP Sharma Oli, and they're saying certainly they will not budge unless there is resignation from KP Sharma Oli. You can see tires that have been burnt in this particular area, and they are demanding justice. Let me try and speak to some of these people. Kya मांगे आप लोगों की?
Yeah, what are you saying?
What is your demand?
We are demanding for corruption, not to do corruption, for legal. Everything have to be legal in our country. We don't have to do anything else. We have to just have freedom, justice for the people, not to corruption, not to, we have to be free. So I want to say just like that. आपका हिंदी मैं क्या बोलना चाहता हूँ कि आपको ये देश में जो करप्शन हो रहा है ये उसको बंद करना चाहिए. उसको अभी थोड़ी बाद में और देश की जैसे होता है ना फ्रीडम लीगल रूप में चलते हैं ना वैसा ही होना चाहिए. उसके बाद ये देश ऊपर जाएगा. और स्टूडेंट को मारना नहीं चाहिए. किसी को भी मारने का हक किसी को भी नहीं. अगर मारना है तो इसके अंदर से थोड़ा गोली चलाना पड़ेगा.
I spoke to one of the ministers, Prithvi Gurung, this morning. He told me that KP Sharma Oli, the Prime Minister, will not resign. How do you react to that?
I react to that like why he is not resigning, what he is doing in Nepal. What about the law and order which is going on in Nepal now? You are seeing the live scenario what is going on at the straight away from the parliament of Nepal, you know, and people are so aggressive here. The youngsters are here, right? And don't they think about they are the future generation of this country and they are going to make this country, right? And why they are doing this? They don't have to see the youngsters what they are asking for. They are just taking our fundamental rights.
All right.
Fundamental speech.
All right.
How can a minister can restrict social media here and just saying that they are not registered with the internet laws of government? This is not right.
All right, this is not right. These are the latest very angry opinion coming from the youth of Nepal saying that the social media was banned. That led to not just a crisis for small business owners and influencers, but daily life got impacted for people. And this was a draconian measure by the Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli. And apart from that, the corruption charges that have been leveled against him. If Prem can pan and show you, these are the anti-riot gear, police of the Nepal police that has been deployed here all across the Parliament complex, across the neighbouring area. And if we can move a little further, there's been massive stone pelting in this area. There are tires that have been burning, and hundreds of protesters who have converged here who say that this violent protest will continue. The youth are rising here in Nepal for a regime change and perhaps want a transparent and a government that is for the people and not an elitist government that actually remains in their elite towers and palaces and in fact does not bring any transparency. So the protest here only continues. We are continuously bringing you live visuals from this protest area. This is the main area just meters away from the Nepal Parliament. Prem is showing you that exact complex next to the barricade is the Nepal Parliament, where in fact the army has been deployed. In fact, more forces and ambulances you can see that are coming in this area, even as the APF, the anti-riot gear police has been stationed here. Every passing minute, the amount of people that are coming here to protest is only increasing. So very dramatic visuals coming on your screens of the deployment of the APF, but also people who are demanding justice, who are demanding action, who are saying that there needs to be accountability at the highest level. There has been joblessness, there has been complete economic downturn, and the responsibility is with the Prime Minister of the country.
That very agitated lady that is emotional, breaking down. She has lost her 20-year-old son. And what she was saying was that I never slapped my son. Why did they shoot him? Why did they kill him? You know, the irony is that where I'm standing with this people remembering their children, it's right opposite to a children's hospital. It's just opposite to a children's hospital, this mortuary, where the parents today are absolutely agitated, angry. They've been saying we don't want any compensation, we don't want anything else, we want justice for our children. We want those who killed our children to be punished. Until the time these, echoes will keep ringing, until the time there is no justice for these people, Nepal and the people, those who were ruling the country, will have to answer. Till then, I don't think there is going to be long-lasting stability here in this country. That's all from me from the ground here in Nepal. A short break. News and updates will continue.
तू ही तो है जिसकी सच्चाई वाली क्लैरिटी की वजह से मैं आज यहाँ हूँ।
गोल्ड प्लस सिल्वॉक्सी मिरर्स, ऐसी क्लैरिटी कि आपको सिर्फ सच नजर आए, चाहे कितने भी साल बीत जाएं।
Presenting the all-knowing, all-powerful Tech Guru.
Whoa. Guru? I'm no guru.
Okay.
I'm just a guy who loves his tech.
A show where the mysteries of megabytes and motherboards shall be unraveled.
Bro, nobody talks like that anymore. This is all about connected ecosystems, EVs and AI that you can use in your daily lives. We aren't talking about time travel yet.
Gadgets tested under extreme conditions.
But why? I review tech for people like you and me. You know what? Let me take it from here.
All right.
Tech isn't that complicated. In fact, it's about making our lives simpler, better, and more fun. That's what we do on Tech 360. Real talk, real reviews, tech that you can actually use.
Tech has changed. So should your tech show.
Across the country, he has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. And now, Aditya Rajkol begins a new chapter at NDTV.
Actually, I'm taking off because the stories I cover don't sit still. To bring the world to India and to take India to the world, I need to be where action is.
Aditya Rajkol, covering international affairs like no one else, only on NDTV network.
Well, we're on an incredible piece of Indian engineering. Shiv and I are absolutely privileged to be here with Larsen & Toubro in Hazira near Surat. This is a tank. It's called the Zorawar. It takes the battle to the Chinese in altitudes upwards of 15,000 feet.
You know, Vishnu, it's actually incredible that for a country that has fought so many wars in the mountains and at high...
Hello, Moto.
Moto G96 5G. All eyes on you.
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Dehradun and conducted review meeting to assess damage that has been caused by the floods in Uttarakhand. He in fact announced a financial assistance of rupees 1,200 crore for floods and rain affected areas in the state. The Prime Minister also announced ex gratia of rupees 2 lakh for the families of the deceased and rupees 50,000 for those who have been injured. He in fact also announced comprehensive support under the PM Cares for Children scheme to children orphaned due to recent floods and landslides. He in fact met with the affected families. He offered condolences. He also met with the personnel of the NDRF, SDRF and Aapda Mitra volunteers and praised their efforts. And Shah Rukh Khan has adopted 1,500 households. In fact, Shah Rukh Khan's Mir Foundation has decided to help the victims of flood-hit Punjab. The foundation, it has joined hands with local NGOs in order to actively support the rehabilitation of families that have been affected by the Punjab floods by distributing essential relief kits comprising medicines, hygiene supplies, food items, mosquito nets, tarpaulin sheets, folding beds, cotton mattresses and other necessities. This initiative will reach 1,500 households across various cities including Amritsar, Patiala, Fazilka and Firozpur districts, addressing immediate health, safety and shelter needs while also helping families rebuild their lives with dignity. Time for a very short break. More news and updates on the other side.
गोल्ड प्लस ऑप्टिमिस्टिक रिफ्लेक्टिव ग्लास लगाओ, धूप की गर्मी को दूर भगाओ और बिजली का बिल भी बचाओ।
We're the only country with such a large population of youth and युवा.
Pure talent और कुछ नहीं है.
बुलाने वाला फ्यूचर काफी अच्छा है स्पोर्ट्स का.
Luck, patience and a lot of tolerance.
Life can change overnight.
जीवन में मैंने कोशिश की है सदैव चुनौती को अपनाने.
We need to work towards an egalitarian society, regardless of gender and orientation.
We see the problems, but you as a social entrepreneur see the solutions. You are not just creating solution, you are creating a future where everyone has a chance to thrive. For the change makers, the innovators, the ones building a better world, one solution at a time. The Adani Green Talk Social Impact Awards are created for you. Green Talk Social Impact Awards 2025, coming soon.
Vanakkam Tamil Nadu.
Well, the battle for Tamil Nadu 2026 is open now.
After Chief Minister Stalin rolls up his sleeves.
And Vijay steps in as a star challenger.
This is a mass gathering, not for cash.
Meanwhile, a former Chief Minister, Edapadi Palanisamy, begins his fight back.
The big comeback campaign by EPS has well and truly begun.
These are all the ultimate players, and this is going to be the ultimate test.
This is the Zorawar, India's very own light tank. Built for a very specific requirement to defend our forces and attack when necessary in high altitude areas. Conceived of in the post-Galwan context and in direct response to the emergence of the Chinese Type 15 light tank, the Zorawar is meant to plug holes in India's armoured defences. At the moment, India uses heavy tanks, the T-90 and T-72, way up in the Ladakh heights. These are far too heavy and unwieldy for operations in the rarefied atmosphere. And so Zorawar was designed and developed in 21 months straight. Weighing in at 25 tons, close to half the weight of the older tanks, the Zorawar can be easily airlifted and is built with the future in mind. Upgradability. Designed to operate with drones, it will also feature an active protection system, a system which intercepts incoming missiles and rockets to protect the tank. But these
Hello and welcome to the South. Lined up with Vasudha and me as always. 60 minutes. Namaskaram, Namaskara, Baunara, Nallarkingla.
Welcome, Veera, and namaskar to all our viewers. Yes, we will focus on the big political exchange over investments and Tamil Nadu and several other stories.
We'll also focus on the Prime Minister's big birthday message to the RSS chief and the political context. But first, let's take you through the headlines this evening.
Major controversy erupts over Rahul Gandhi's security protocol. CRPF chief alleges Congress MP flouting security norms, flags as multiple unscheduled foreign trips, claims Rahul Gandhi is not serious about his own security. Suspense bills over who will head the interim government in Nepal. Gen Z pushes for Kulman Jising, while the engineer who solved Nepal's power crisis, Kathmandu Mayor Balin Shah, and former Nepal Supreme Court Justice Sushila Karki is also in the running. Bengal files first Kolkata screening on the 13th of September. BJP backed Khula Hawa to organize the screening.
Stop, Vasudha, to that big family feud in Tamil Nadu politics between father and son of the Pattali Makkal Katchi. Ramdas Sr., the founder of the PMK, dismissed his son, expelled his son from the party. Anbumani Ramdas, the former union minister. Will it hurt the NDA ally, which has had a low ebb in terms of electoral politics ahead of the 2026 elections? That's the big question, Vasudha.
That's right, Veera. It's an ugly family battle playing out in public. While Ramdas Sr. claims that he has had majority of the party in his control, his son, Anbumani supporters say that the former union minister was the one officially elected by the party's general council to be the president, and that he has the support of the party. The father-son battle, however, has reached the Election Commission. As you pointed out, Veera, the question is if this will threaten the electoral future of the PMK, which was once a strong regional force in northern Tamil Nadu. Let's listen into reactions and NDTV Sam Daniel, who reports from Chennai.
Tenure of the President, Secretary and General Secretary was extended till 2026 August. According to bylaw, the administration of the party can be done only by the President and Secretary. The founder is having only the advice.
So, just one question, sir. So, legally, is this valid or not?
Certainly not.
Okay. Sir,
there is no power.
Okay.
Even the Election Commission is categorically informed us. The tenure of the President and Secretary is extended till 2026 August.
With both sides sticking to their positions and claiming they represent the official PMK, with 7 months for elections in Tamil Nadu, the PMK runs the risk of heading towards a split. The one-year community is divided, with the older lot supporting Senior Ramadas and the younger lot shaking hands with Anbumani Ramadas. It's a huge setback for NDA in Tamil Nadu, which already witnessed exit of leaders like EPS, T.M.Veeraraghav Dinakaran, and is witnessing a turmoil in the major ally AIADMK. Now PMK has joined the bandwagon. PMK traditionally is always known to be in the winning side. In 2001, the party had 20 MLAs, but over the years, its calculations went horribly wrong. Now it has just 5 MLAs after a 10-year break. And PMK loyalists want the father and son to shake hands to resolve this issue so that the PMK's tally will only go rising in the Tamil Nadu Assembly.
Well, Vasudha, from father versus son in the Pattali Makkal Katchi to the big political battle in Tamil Nadu between opposition leader Edappadi Palaniswamy and M.K. Stalin and the DMK. The state's industries minister, T.M.Veeraraghav, hit back at leader of opposition Edappadi Palaniswamy, who has made allegations against the DMK government and Stalin's foreign visits, and has said that the DMK's claims of investments in job creations in Tamil Nadu is absolute lies.
That's right, Veera. Edappadi Palaniswamy, who's on a tour of the state, has alleged that while the DMK government has claimed 10.5 lakh crore of investments in the state, the centre's data shows only 68,000 crore of FDI has come into Tamil Nadu under Stalin's government. Hitting back at the opposition leader, Tamil Nadu's industries minister has claimed that the chief minister's foreign visits, which have been criticized sharply by the AIADMK, has generated 18,000 crore from several countries in the past, and that most of the MOUs have actually turned into investments. Now, what is the reality on ground? Is this just a political exchange, or is it based on hard facts? That's a special face-off that's coming up. But first, let's listen into Edappadi Palaniswamy.
இன்றைக்கு திரு ஸ்டாலின் அவர்கள் 5 முறை வெளிநாடு சென்றுட்டு வந்திருக்கிறார். இந்த 5 முறை வெளிநாடு சென்ற அந்த வெளிநாட்டு பயணத்தில் எவ்வளவு முதலீட்டு ஈர்க்கப்பட்டிருக்குது, எத்தனை புரிந்துணர்வு ஒப்பந்தம் போட்டது, எத்தனை தொழிற்சாலைகள் ஆரம்பிக்கப்பட்டன கேட்டா ஒண்ணும் கிடையாது.
Edapadi Palaniswamy should accept the data given by the union government when it comes to growth, economic growth across all states, and Tamil Nadu has achieved 11+% economic growth compared to last year, which shows that there are investments, there is economic activity, there is new jobs, there is development. Without economic activity, without foreign investment, without new jobs, this 11+% is impossible. Like our industrial minister, Mr. T.M.Veeraraghav has said, that Edapadi Palaniswamy might not understand this data, but factually there is growth.
So is this exchange based on hard facts, or is it just pure politics that's playing out in the heat of an election campaign and mere allegations? Joining us this evening, Kovai Satyan of the AIADMK, Vasudha, as well as Selam Dharanidharan of the DMK. My first question to you, Selam Dharanidharan, respond to the allegation that all your claims are based on half-truths and not hard facts, and the claims of job creations and investments are lies, says Edapadi Palaniswamy.
How? If you have to look, even the prestigious The Economist, which only gives one page to India every month, has written 2 pages about my Chief Minister's achievement, The Economist based out of London, which is read by the CEOs and poll political leaders. When it comes to export preparedness index, Tamil Nadu ranks number 1. When it comes to electronics component manufacturing, Tamil Nadu ranks number 1. Ease of doing business, Tamil Nadu moved from the 14th place to the 2nd place. When it comes to index for startup, Union Government Index, Tamil Nadu moved from 22nd place to 2nd place in about 4.5 years. And 11 lakh crores worth of investment has been attracted, and 1 crore jobs these investments will provide, and 70% to 90% of the MOUs that has been signed are already in some stage that will be completed soon. Example being VinFast, which was finished in 14 months. And more importantly, until 2021, Tamil Nadu manufactured only 20% of e-vehicles. Today, 80% of the e-vehicles in India has been manufactured in Tamil Nadu. For example, compare this with the AIADMK regime. In 2020, they had 2019, they had a global investors summit. They called all the local construction companies and investors building their, let's say, expanding their showroom, building apartments as global investors, and showed us the investment. This was exposed by Hindu, written by Sangeeta Kandavel. In 2019, an article had come in which they said how the local companies' investment, which they even do, was shown as foreign direct investment. In the gym, it's there in Hindu. So compare that to right now, when the Chief Minister has gone. When Chief Minister goes, he is there in the leading newspapers there. He is there in the leading magazines there. First of all, I have one more question. All right, okay. My dear friend. Right, I have one question for Satyan. Right, he will have to tell me which faction of AIADMK he is in. Is he in the EPS faction? Is he in OPS faction? Is he in Sasikala Madam faction? Or is he in Sengotian faction? Or I'm told that there are 4 more factions coming. First,
respond to that, Kovai Satyan. Selam Dharanidharan taking a political dig at you, and he's quoting facts to say that the DMK government has performed. It was the EPS government that did not perform, and he says he's got facts and proof from several publications to show the progress Tamil Nadu has made under MK Stalin. Respond to that.
Yeah, when you make a family vacation at the cost of public money, this is what you can expect from the party. And when you stand exposed, even our leader went abroad seeking investments to USA. He never took his family and including his personal auditor. MK Stalin's first visit to Dubai was with the entire family along with his personal auditor. And prior to his visit, 2 weeks ago, his son-in-law went and met the Lulu Mall owner. And they come back and say Lulu Mall is opening up in Tamil Nadu with investments. You know what is the irony? Lulu Mall entered into a JV with a private company called Lakshmi Mills in Coimbatore, and it is an agreement between 2 private entities. Tamil Nadu government has no role, neither in land allotment nor in anything. It is nothing but the corrupt swindle money which went overseas and comes back as investment. This is what continuing for the other 4 visits of M.K. Stalin to abroad. Put together all the 5 family vacations of M.K. Stalin to Dubai, to Japan, to Spain, to Germany, to US, they claim that they have attracted investment of 35,000 crores. When the entire world is near normal out of corona, everybody is happy to talk about economic growth. With 5 visits, he is able to secure only 35,000, wherein the entire world was shut down because of corona. Our leader, EPS, secured 65,000 crores of investments, the number 1 state among all the other states into
Selam,
2020. This is
respond to that.
performance.
These are just...
I'll finish 20 seconds. He talks about EV manufacturing at 80%. Tamil Nadu under EPS leadership is the first state to declare a EV policy. And the Ola, the largest Asia factory, was under our leadership. That's the numbers they are claiming right now.
Okay.
The first semiconductor policy of Tamil Nadu was released by a leader EPS, first among all the other states. It is our investments of global investor meets, which they are stickering right now.
Okay,
Do you want people to believe that 35,000 crores has given 11% GDP growth? It is our effort and our investment they are stickering. All M.K. Stalin and his team is doing is they are taking the corrupt and swindled money elsewhere abroad and trying to bring it back as equity.
And
what is stopping them to release a white paper?
There haven't been many jobs and these are just personal family trips. That's a big claim by AIDMK now.
What is stopping them to give a white paper on whatever numbers my friend Selam Dharanidharan just spoke?
See, listen, I will explain. See, firstly, I think the alliance partner, the leader rather of the AIDMK party now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he's been more than 100 odd different trips abroad. I think my general secretary made a joke also to me. He only comes to India to take back the clothes, put the clothes on laundry and take them and go. He has taken leading corporate houses to Australia. When a leading corporate house was bidding in Luxembourg, the Indian government intervened. So he has to ask those questions to the union government. Why are they taking corporate houses on the family trip? On the foreign trip. And having said that, I will also tell you, why was the ease of doing business under AIDMK in the 14th place? He knows it. Why is it number 2 now? And similarly, exactly 1 year after we came to power, there was an union government data saying states that have had the highest net increase in foreign direct investment, Tamil Nadu ranked number 1. Until 2021, net highest increase, right? So Corona does not play a role because net highest increase. Tamil Nadu was in the 9th place. That in itself clearly shows that we had done something right. Otherwise, how will we have 11.2% growth? And more pertinent fact that I have to mention is when a chief minister will go on a foreign trip, what eventually happens is he is covered by major news channels there, into both print and news media. And then important people come and meet him. So the ripple effects are felt even after the trip. There's a difference between the president of a country visiting India rather than a secretary.
Kovai Satyan, respond to that. He's saying that even the Prime Minister goes for trips, but nothing really concrete comes out. That's a DMK claim.
I'm asking a straight question to my friend Selam Dharanidharan. If he says 80% is a success rate of the global investors meet and the foreign trips of investment program by M.K. Stalin, what is stopping them to release the data as a white paper? Which are all companies, what is the quantum of money that had come in and how many jobs it has been created? Why just throw numbers, whatever you feel it is your convenient, 70%, 80%, 90%.
Respond to that question.
Why throw numbers at random?
Question by
What is stopping you to give the data precisely that this is the company, this is the investment? And to my friend Selam Dharanidharan,
let him respond.
Why
You've asked
Tamil
the
Nadu has
question.
slipped
Let him
to the
respond.
rank of
Let
number
Selam
5 in
Dharanidharan
FDI
respond.
under your M.K. Stalin's rule?
See, FDI, Tamil Nadu was never in the top 10. And you know how FDI...
My dear friend, it was in number 2. Please go refer.
No.
Take the data.
Data is wrong. Data 100% wrong. I will tell you also how FDI is measured. FDI is actually measured. Number 1 state for FDI in India is Delhi NCR. You know why? Because the FDI in this country is measured based on where the headquarters of the company is based out of. The headquarters could be in Bombay or in Delhi, right? Or in Bangalore. But when the factory is set up here and the money comes, but it's measured in as if it is coming to Delhi for the headquarters. That's how the RBI rules are, which has been explained by the industries ministers itself time and again. That this is why industry states do not say the actual number of FDI that comes, but actual investment is felt on ground. Example being VinFast.
Come out with a white paper like Kovai Satyan is suggesting, because then you don't have to depend on The Economist and other papers, right? You could have your own data to tell us
Definitely
what's happening.
you can go to the guidance website. The guidance website regularly updates what investment has come, what stage the investment is in. It is a 24 hours. They have even a helpline where the industries can call them and say, I have this problem. They can even call them at 1 o'clock. It coordinates with all the ministries. So any stage after signing the MOU, if there is a problem, the guidance completely coordinates with all the ministries, all the departments, and solve this problem, which has been appreciated by most ambassadors who have been visiting Chennai also. Even the Korean ambassador who came during the launch of one of the extension of Hyundai had appreciated it. Similarly, the Taiwan ambassador who came along with the CEO of one of the companies had appreciated the simple fact that how guidance works. So it is not that you can go to the guidance website, clearly there what investment
Kovai
came,
Satyan, your demand for a white paper, according to Salem Dharanitharan, is purely a political demand. He says there is enough and more data to prove that the DMK government has performed at the grassroots. The perception, though, seems to be that this government is better than other governments in India, is what he's arguing. Go ahead.
That is their desperation to prove that we have done better and we have data, and the data will never come out, which you all will know. That's very clear, because we cannot expect truth from DMK. But let me show the other side of this investment dramas. Flextronics started iPhone manufacturing under AIDMK regime. Flextronics expansion went to UP. iPhone manufacturing of Tata, we brought in Tata to Hosur. iPhone manufacturing of Tata went to Bangalore. And where was this government sleeping now? Now they say that we have attracted investment and stopped these companies from going elsewhere of Tamil Nadu. Then what is the point of hosting a global investor meet just 15 months before? A M-panel company who is a supplier of Indian railways for the last 3 decades.
Tamil Nadu government has not been able to create a conducive environment, and that companies want to leave. And this is something that the AIDMK and the BJP have claimed. Salem Dharanitharan, very quickly.
I think people.
Can I finish, Vasudha? I'm not done. I'm not done. I have still have one more question to go.
Let Kovai Satyan finish his point. Yeah.
Please.
An M-panel vendor of Indian Railways who is running business in India for the last 30 years, what is the need to go all the way to Germany and seek investment? A brand called Ohimium in US who has invested 2,000 crores just 2 years ago in Bengaluru, what is your justification of getting investment of 200 crores to Chengalpattu when you visit US? Don't you think so that you are being thoroughly exposed? What is the need to go elsewhere and to their corporate office when their branch offices and their business interests are already there in India, running for decades? It's just a call away to their company and tell them that my chief minister wants to meet you. They will come running to you.
To that before we close this conversation.
No, see, I'm firstly telling, for example, people may have not forgotten this. They may think people have forgotten. During AIDMK's regime, Kia tried to set up their factory for 2 goddamn years. Because they didn't get approval from the AIDMK government, they were asking for kickbacks. They had to go to the border.
That's a false allegation, my dear friend.
Similarly, Ford
70% is our success rate and 30% were work in progress.
Ford got
Don't
shut during
say,
AIDMK
back up your data.
Right. It's the truth.
I'll challenge you, back up your data. That there were no approvals given in AIDMK, back up your data.
Though they wanted Chennai's manpower, they wanted Chennai's port. Why did it go? Why did it go to Andhra Pradesh? Because the AIDMK did not cooperate. Right.
Back up with data, my dear friend. How did Ola come here? How did Tata come here? How did Acer come here? And how come Chennai is called the Detroit of India? It is because of us. Back up with data.
97, the first factory came because of DMK. Right?
My dear friend, Ford came first because of us. Followed by Hyundai.
How?
It was Ford which came first because of our leader.
All right, okay.
Then
both of you have had
what
enough and
happened to
more
Ford
time
expansion?
today. I
Now,
don't
you
know
tell me
about
now.
the investments
Your
that's
leader
flown
went to
in, but
US,
as far
met
as
Ford
time is
officials.
concerned, both of you have
What
had
happened to
enough
Ford
and more
investment now
time
in Tamil Nadu? You
to
tell me.
make your
What
points
is the
today.
status?
Unfortunately, I've run completely out of time, but this conversation is going to get heated up more. Vasudha, remember, Vijay is all set to start his yatra from Trichy, 3 districts from this Saturday. So the political heat definitely rising in the state. The question is hard facts, economic data, investment data getting buried in the political exchange in the state?
Absolutely, Veera. This is always a great debate to have because this directly concerns lives and livelihoods of people. But moving on to other stories from the south of India, To the proposal to change the name of Shivaji Nagar Metro Station in Bengaluru to St. Mary's after the famous St. Mary's Church, which is an iconic landmark in the busy Shivaji Nagar area of the city, Veera. Now, this request for changing the name was made by Congress MLA Rizwan Arshad, and Chief Minister Siddaramaiah mentioned at a public function that he would forward the request to the authorities. Now, the St. Mary's Church is a historic landmark in Bengaluru, but the BJP has accused the Congress party of appeasement politics. There have also been sharp reactions from Maharashtra, Veera, to this move to rename a station that's named after Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj.
That's right, Vasudha. In fact, the fact that there is an emotive exchange over the metro station will obviously be looked at. The question is that it's still, remember, just a request from an MLA, which the Chief Minister has said at a public function that he will forward it. Let's listen in to the reactions and also to Deepak Bhupanna, who summarizes this controversy for us.
Metro railway station ನಾನು ರಿಜ್ವಾನ್ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ರಿಜ್ವಾನ್ ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂನ್ಸಿಯವರು ಎಲ್ಲಿಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಶಿಫಾರಸು ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಾತುಗಳಿದೆ.
शिवाजीनगर स्टेशनचं नाव बदलून सेंट मेरी स्टेशन करणं याचा मी निषेध करतो. एक प्रकारे छत्रपती शिवरायांचा अपमान करण्याचं काम हे कर्नाटकची काँग्रेस सरकार करते. याचं मला दुःख आहे, पण मला याचं नवल वाटत नाही. कारण छत्रपती शिवरायांना अपमानित करण्याची परंपरा ही काँग्रेसमध्ये जवाहरलाल नेहरू पंतप्रधान असतानापासून आहे.
Well, now the Chief Minister mentioning that he has received a proposal to name the metro station in Shivajinagar after St. Mary has resulted in an all-out political war of words. On one hand, you have several leaders in the state, BJP, who are questioning this and saying that this could be another form of appeasement by the Congress party and the Karnataka Chief Minister. On the other hand, this has also sparked off a debate in Maharashtra as well, with several leaders, both political and, Marathi leaders as well, who are questioning this and saying that if the station is named, it should be named after the area, that is Shivajinagar, which is named after Chhatrapati Shivaji, or else it would be an insult to the leader, is the charge that's coming in. As far as the stand in itself is concerned, now the Chief Minister has said that this is a proposal he has received and he is in turn going to write to the centre about it. At this point in time, there is no name that has been fixed, and this is also something that the centre will also have to weigh in, because as far as the metro is concerned, it's a joint venture between the state and the centre, so any decision of course will be taken with consensus from both these parties involved. So we'll really have to see how the political aspects around this really escalates in the days to come.
Remember, metro stations and the running of Metro Vasudha is a joint venture, as Deepak pointed out, between the centre and the state. So it's purely just a proposal, perhaps a political one from the MLA there, which the Chief Minister has said he'll forward it. But of course, no shortage. It just fuels a controversy which could possibly have emotive statements being made.
That's right. We are talking about joint ventures. Now to the face-off in Andhra Pradesh over NDA government's ambitious move to build medical colleges with private partnerships to boost the state's health and medical education infrastructure. YSRCP Chief and former Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy has declared that he would cancel all contracts awarded by the state government if and when he comes to power. Now, this face-off, even as TDP-led NDA government celebrated a Super 6 rally yesterday to announce that it had delivered on all its poll promises, Veera, certainly the exchange in Andhra Pradesh getting tense.
That's right, Vasudha. It reflects the kind of bitter political exchange that plays out in Andhra Pradesh. Remember, the private-public partnership is aimed at also setting up medical colleges and hospitals in a state which is short of funds for setting up those projects. Of course, there's been a bitter exchange over who set up what and the state of medical education and healthcare in that state. So it will be very important to watch out for, because this is, again, remember, an important public health issue as well in the state.
That's right, Veera. Let's take a look at some reactions.
ఒకటి చెప్తా ఉన్నా, ఎవరైనా టెండర్లలో పార్టిసిపేట్ చేయండి, ఎవరైనా రాండి, కానీ ప్రతి ఒక్కరికి వార్నింగ్ ఇస్తాను. రేపు పొద్దున మేము వచ్చిన తర్వాత రద్దు చేస్తాం, మళ్ళీ వెనక్కి తీసుకుంటాం. ఇది మాత్రం ఖచ్చితంగా అందరూ గుర్తుపెట్టుకోమని.
ఒక నాయకుడు ఉన్నాడు ఈ రాష్ట్రంలో, మెడికల్ కాలేజ్ అంటే తెలియని నాయకుడు. ఆయన మాట్లాడుతున్నాడు, నేనేదో పొడి చేశాను, మీరు దానికి ఏదో ఇది చేశారని. నేను ఒకటే చెప్తున్నాను, ఈరోజు భూమి ఇస్తే మెడికల్ కాలేజ్ అయిపోదు. ఈ రాష్ట్రంలో విద్యా సంస్థలకి ప్రాధాన్యత ఇచ్చిన ప్రభుత్వం ఎన్డీఏ ప్రభుత్వం, కేంద్ర ప్రభుత్వం, ఇటు రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వం. రాష్ట్రంలో మెడికల్ కాలేజీలు తెచ్చిన ప్రభుత్వం తెలుగుదేశం ప్రభుత్వం అవునా కాదా అని మిమ్మల్ని అడుగుతున్నాను.
Okay, joining us this evening is Deepak Reddy of the TDP and Bharatram Margani of the YSRCP. Bharatram, the Chief Minister has categorically reiterated that the ownership of the college infrastructure will be with the government and that the private partnership is essential to just make this possible so that the colleges get ready, soon to service people. Is your opposition purely political or, in some ways, just because you want to disagree with the TDP that you're doing this?
Yeah, fair enough. Until 2019, before Mr. Y.S. Jaganji could swear in as Chief Minister, Andhra Pradesh do have only 12 government medical colleges. And we have witnessed the pandemic. By seeing this, Mr. Jagan Garu has brought in the greatest of great reforms to bring in about 17 new government medical colleges, wherein 7 medical colleges were operational till now. And I would like to ask the gentleman from TDP, in the tenure of Mr. Naidu, he served about 15 years as Chief Minister. Perhaps this is his 4th term. Not even a single government medical college was established in the tenure of Mr. Naidu. It's a shame on him. And where is the, I would like to ask the TDP gentleman, the AIIMS Mangalgiri was established by the government of India. Whether he wanted to privatize that AIIMS Mangalgiri also, I would like to ask him. So where Mr. Jagan Garu wants to have tertiary care and health care for the poorest of the poor, the below poverty line, wherein this corporate hospitals are looting.
Respond to that.
Respond to that.
Looting the money. Yeah.
Vasudha, thank you. I would like a minute uninterrupted because truth is a very big casualty when it comes to YCP. So I would like to put 5 facts straight. Jagan Reddy's attempt to politicize this is just to save his party from dying out. There's no substance to their argument. The first point is, it is not Jagan Reddy's idea. The medical colleges is the Prime Minister's idea of 1 district, 1 medical college. So they are claiming credit for that. And the second thing is, out of the 17 colleges in the 5 years, only 5 were finished. A total budget administrative sanction was given to 8,480 crores, but only 1,451 crores was spent during a 5-year period. Out of that, 650 crores was left to us, in which we paid. Only 801 crores was paid by them. That is a mere 9% of the administrative sanction was paid by them. And then they came out with a GO where 35% was reserved for students who were paying and 15% reserved for NRIs. So 50% of the seats were blocked and away from a poor student. And then comes the actual figures. If you see the allocation by Government of India, only 1,300 seats went up in 5 years in Andhra Pradesh, whereas in Tamil Nadu,
Miss Vasudha, I would like to ask this gentleman, why not even a single medical college was established in the tenure of Mr. Naidu?
I know, Mr. Bharatram.
Okay, let him finish his point. Bharatram, let him finish his point.
And you are trying to somehow salvage the situation because truth
cannot be.
Okay, Bharatram, ask your question.
College.
Yeah, Bharatram.
He stands exposed. And
No. See, I'm asking a straight, simple question. Why not even a single
One of you speak at a time.
Bharatram,
just ask your question.
Why not even a single medical college was established in the tenure of 15 years as Chief Minister by Mr. Naidu? Why not even a single government medical college was established? That answer has to be, you have to answer that simple question first. Then you can go with the debate now.
Mr. Bharatram, in a period of 5 years, you take up only five colleges out of the 17. and you have spent more
I'm
than
asking you
500
a question,
crores
man.
on Jagan
See,
Mohan
listen,
Reddy's
I'm
palace,
asking you a
which belongs
straight
to the people,
question.
and
There
you
is
didn't
no
have that
hassle.
money to spend
There is no
on
hassle at all. See,
the
listen,
college which is really
I'm
required
asking
by
a
the
straight
people.
question. Did Mr.
I mean, you have
Naidu,
spent more than 500 crores on the palace which you have built
no,
with
did
public
Mr.
money.
That's about the
Naidu
earlier regime that you're talking about. Let's come to the topic. What is, Bharatram, what is your problem with the PPP model? Because this will actually make medical infrastructure ready quite quickly. What is wrong in expediting the infrastructure?
See, I'm telling you a straight fact. It is an open secret in all private medical colleges. The medical colleges, the seats were sold for crores of rupees as donations. And the fee structure for B category, it is somewhere around 15 lakhs, and C category, it is for 40 lakhs. And in the government medical colleges, what happens? The poorest of poor people will study there. See, in the span of, despite of pandemic of 2.5 years, we've lost 2.5 years of time. But even still,
Deepak Reddy, just respond to that very briefly. We're running out of time.
So why can't Mr. Naidu as
That's blatant lying, because they came out with a secret geo which was hidden, where 50% of the seats were reserved for paying people. So they sold the seats. It was not an access for a poor boy who wanted to come. So these people had ulterior motives. And in 5 years,
ulterior motives?
But in 1.5 years, they completed the palace of Jagan Mohan Reddy, spending more than 500 crores. So these people are liars. That is why the people of Andhra Pradesh have thrown them out of power and not even given them opposition status. So now this drama, what they are doing, is just to salvage themselves politically from dying out.
I would like to mention about
this is not being sold. It is being worked out on a PPP model where the government owns the property and we set the rules and the private players only operate
PPP model
efficiently.
What is the difference?
10 seconds. Finally,
I'd like to mention that the 3,000 crores of works has already been completed, and the financial readiness were also ensured. About 5,000 crores were tied up with NABARD, and 5,000 crores
Deepak Reddy now
through central schemes.
Yeah, Deepak Reddy, quickly.
All right. These are all the cooked up figures. I have the figures with me. By the time
very quickly, 10 seconds.
1,451 crores was actually spent. Out of that, 801 crores was released during their government time by the government, and 650 crores which was left unpaid was cleared by our government.
A lot of numbers get lost in the political exchange. You know, a lot of numbers get lost in the political exchange and the political noise. I'm sorry, we'll have to leave this conversation right here, Vasudha, but it's an extremely important issue, but it also reflects the fierce, bitter exchange in Andhra politics when a former chief minister threatens that any contract signed by this present government will be cancelled or annulled if he comes back to power. So it does reflect the bitterness in Andhra politics and the bitter exchange between the YSRCP and TDP.
That's right, Veera. And also this allegation and this threat that medical education can also get politicized, which is already happening in several parts of the country. We will be back after the short break with an exclusive with S. Gurumurthy Sangai Tilok.
जब मुंबई से वापस कोल्हापुर शिफ्ट हुआ तो सबने कहा कि ड्रीम सिटी को छोड़ रहा है। ड्रीम सिटी तो मैंने कहा ड्रीम में तो यही गलियां आती हैं। तो जब ये रियलाइज़ हुआ कि कुछ बड़ा करने के लिए बड़े शहर में रहने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, तब लगा कि लाइफ में ग्रो किया। कशी ताई ऐसे बॉय मिलते मुंबई में? चांस ही नहीं।
SIP करो, इन्वेस्ट करो, लाइफ में ग्रो करो।
प्रतिभूति बाजार में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। निवेश करने से पहले सभी संबंधित दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
फिनिस्टा विंडोज, ब्यूटीफुल एंड ड्यूरेबल डिजाइन्स, इंस्टॉलेशन से मेंटेनेंस की लाइफ लॉन्ग कस्टमर सर्विस। आपके घर में फिनिस्टा नहीं है तो कॉल कीजिए।
Fine, finer, Finesta.
That's huge. That is a biggie. It's out of here.
Gold Glass, Clear Glass. पार हो या नियर, सब कुछ दिखे क्लियर।
हेलो हेलो, बोलिए मैडम। डब्बा टेलिंग कब से चल रहा है पता है मैडम आपको? हम और आप तो जन्म भी नहीं हुआ था हमारा।
We investigated a shady advisory firm that has spent big bucks on advertising
on the front pages of national dailies.
ये आपको बिल्कुल उसका ऐसे हल्का सा भी खौफ नहीं है।
मैडम एक बात, खौफ किस लिए रखना चाहिए, ये तो बताओ, कौन सा गलत काम कर रहा हूँ मैं?
After our report, we also saw NSE came out with a cautionary circular to the investors. Market Regulator Securities and Exchange Board of India has also come out with a release talking about the actions that it has taken. Cyber complaint has also been filed against the entities involved in this entire Dabba trading scam.
ब्रेकिंग न्यूज का जमाना है, सबको तिल का ताड़ और राई का पहाड़ बनाना है। ऐसे में जनता के जूते के अंदर फंसा कंकड़ कौन देखे? बड़े बड़े मुद्दों के शोर में जमीन से जुड़े मुद्दे अक्सर खो जाते हैं। लेकिन देश तरक्की तब करता है जब जनता के माथे की शिकन हमारी हेडलाइंस बनती है। मैं सैयद सुहेल भारत को जीता हूं, भारत की बात बताता हूं। NDTV इंडिया पर
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free for all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
My birthday gift to पापा, ये उनके पापा की पहली गाड़ी एक गराज में पड़ी थी दार्जिलिंग में। फिर 3 मैकेनिक, पेंटिंग, पॉलिशिंग। जब इसे फाइनली घर लाया ना, तब लगा लाइफ में ग्रो किया है। बुलाओ।
SIP करो, इन्वेस्ट करो, लाइफ में ग्रो करो। प्रतिभूति बाजार में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। निवेश करने से पहले सभी संबंधित दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
Welcome back. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's effusive tribute to RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat on his 75th birthday, calling him as the most transformative leader, crediting him for steering the RSS through turbulence with intellectual depth and empathy and never compromising on the core ideology, has sent out a strong message of not just gratitude but also alignment, understanding and a shared goal. The Congress party, however, has dismissed the gesture as political theatre. To decode all of this, we have with us the editor of Tughlaq magazine, somebody who understands the Sangh Parivar and also Indian politics very well. S. Gurumurthy, thank you very much, sir, for joining us on the show. My first question to you, how do you look at the Prime Minister calling Mr. Bhagwat's period in the RSS as the Sarsang Chalak the most transformative in the Sangh's journey of 100 years? He has praised the RSS from the Red Fort only last month on the Independence Day. He has talked today about his long association with Mohan Bhagwat, also his father. Now, this is an organization that has seen chiefs like M.S. Golwalkar and also Balasaheb Deoras in the past. Such high praise from the Prime Minister, who also has a long association with the RSS. How do you read this?
You see, there is a context for that. The 100 years of RSS is a very important milestone from where you look back and also look forward. So, the Prime Minister praised the RSS from the Red Fort. He would not have done it but for the fact that there is a context for that. So, for his acknowledging the leadership of Mohan Bhagwat, also this context holds good. But why he mentioned this 10 years period is because RSS has seen great adversities in Golwalkar's period, Balasaheb's period, later. The first transformation came through the Ram Janmabhoomi movement, when the ecosystem cleared in favor of the Hindu viewpoint in the country. Slowly there has been change, and in 2014 a massive change came.